What has he done wrong? He has done nothing wrong, only what all of us here have done, which is come and try to make a better life for ourselves, try to make a home for ourselves. That is all Jatinder wants.
When I go back to India, so I don't know what happened for me. So because my dad is involved for a political party and another opposition party, and I just like dangerous my life over there.
With only 1 day left until his planned deportation to India, where the country is battling COVID-19, family members, friends, supporters, and politicians are making a final plea to the Canadian government to allow 27-year-old Jasinder Singh to stay in the country.
So how can we accept that our government will send someone to a place where the situation is out of control?
And Mr. Singh is an essential worker. He was a truck driver during the pandemic, so he did a lot of work and helped a lot of people with this job.
And the original reason that he came to Canada as a political refugee is still very much there. So I see this literally as a life and death situation for him.
Singh is scheduled to be deported June 15th. On June 8th, with the help of Solidarity Across Borders, Singh filed an administrative stay application with the Canadian Border Services Agency. 2 days later, it was refused.
We expected that, but the only reason why we go to it is so we can then escalate and go to federal court.
On June 11th, his newly appointed legal team appealed the CBSA's refusal and requested an emergency hearing in order to delay the deportation until Singh's case can be heard in federal court.
Mr. Blair has the power to stop the deportation, to give Mr. Singh time to present his case with the help of a proper lawyer.
According to Singh's lawyers, while he was in Ottawa taking the mandatory COVID test Monday, before his planned deportation Tuesday, approximately 8 CBSA officers showed up at his cousin's apartment where Singh lives. They claim agents were knocking furiously. His cousin was alone at the time with her 2-year-old. She says agents said they wanted to search the residence to ensure Singh was packed and ready to go back to India.
Sending him back, spending money and resources, Canadian resources and money on court cases and lawyers. I want to know how much money has the Canadian government spent on this case.
There's no legal paper to stay here. So by the book, he cannot stay. We understand that. But we are asking Mr. Blair to wait a little bit because his lawyer wants to make an application for humanitarian reason to stay here. We think it's a path that has some chances of success.
By airtime, Singh had yet to receive a response in regards to the hearing request.
Why is there resources being put into deporting him from this country instead of resources being put into regularizing his status?
In Montreal, Sacha Obas, City News.
In 1 minute on City